Alright, before we jump straight into a build that is very ideal for you whenever you're brand new to the game and you want to focus on healing, I want to explain some things that may confuse you when you go to heal yourself. First off is going to be an effect called Broken. If you have this status effect that looks like this, it means that you cannot heal yourself. You're in the broken status. You usually have to just wait for it to go away. Deep Wound will show up at the bottom in a yellow bar, and if you do not get rid of this status effect by healing yourself, it will usually give you a prompt to do so. When you stand still, if you do not do this, you will go into a dying state. So it is very important that you get rid of the Deep Wound effect. Next is going to be Hemorrhage. Hemorrhage means that whenever you stop healing, you're going to lose health over time until you start healing yourself again. So if you do have the hemorrhage effect that looks like this, that does mean as soon as you stop healing, you will almost guarantee yourself having to start back at 0. Usually alongside hemorrhage, you're going to see Mangled, and whenever you have the Mangled status effect, this means you're going to heal slower. Usually Mangled and Hemorrhage are going to be side by side because killers are going to run a perk called Sloppy Butcher that will give you both status effects when you are hit. Now that we've gotten the status effects out of the way, you will now understand why you are healing slower than normal, or why you cannot heal at all, or why your healing progress goes away whenever you have to move away when the killer starts coming towards you. So, some of the terminology that we're going to learn today, there is a lot of terminology to learn in Dead by Daylight. For now, we're going to stick to learning 99ing. 99ing anything in the game essentially means you're getting it all the way up to 99% progress, like healing yourself. And the reason why you would want to 99 your healing is because right before you take chase, or in the middle of a chase, you can fully heal yourself before you get hit, thus making it a longer chase. Usually if they chase after the injured player, they think they can get them down and hook them very fast, but you can trick them with the 99 heal method to prolong the chase length. Now, jumping into the build that I think is probably the best one you can run in the beginning. I do think that this can be moved around slightly depending on your preference. However, that being said, if you are solely going for healing, which honestly is not the best build you can run, we will talk about the best builds whenever we talk about different types of classes. That being said, you probably won't have access to a lot of these builds until you buy or unlock different characters and have their perks available after you prestige them at least one time. If you were unaware, the reason you want to level up your characters past first, second, and even third prestige is because every time you level them up, you will be able to access the first tier of their perks on first prestige on any character. Second prestige is the second tier, and third prestige is the third tier. Why that's so important is because say you want to use Claudette's self-heal so you can heal yourself without using a medkit. If you prestige her at least to prestige 1, you will be able to use her self-heal. Although it will be the first tier and not the third tier of the perk, it is still very useful to have on a different character. Now, if you didn't already know, you cannot heal yourself unless you run this perk, or you have a medkit. That is the only two ways you can heal yourself. If you want to be healed, you have to find your teammates and have them heal you. I will say, if you are running solo, self-care is a very good perk if you're not going to run a medkit. If you are running a medkit, it's almost useless to run self-care. And I do say almost because your charges will run out. If you run a build where you have at least 32 charges and you don't have anything that slows your healing or regresses your healing, you should be able to heal yourself 2 times fully with a green med kit and an add-on that gives you 8 more charges. Because if you didn't know, at the bottom it tells you 16 charges is a full heal. Now, without getting way too much into the information, obviously better medkits will give you different stats. You can read those on your own. We'll be here for forever if I talk about all the add-ons and attachments and different heal speeds and charges that come with different medkits. So we're going to move on to what I would recommend, since you're not going to have access to a whole lot in the beginning of the game. Really, the one of 2 things you can only do in the beginning of the game. Now, if you are not doing a looping build, like I highly recommend you learn, if you are too intimidated by that and you would rather just stick to an easier strategy, this is the healing perks. Because you're not going to have a lot of perks in the beginning, this, in my opinion, is probably the best thing you can run, unfortunately. It's not the best, but it's going to help you out. Because in the beginning, you're probably very confused on how to find other people. And if you run Claudette's empathy perk so that you can see when people get injured, you can run over to them and heal them. This is entirely set up for you to be the medic. Claudette's heal 50% faster is also a very good perk. This perk is very good and is still good even once you unlock other perks. If you want to have a consistent, faster heal, and you can, like I said, switch this out if you don't care to have 2 ways of healing yourself. It is a bit redundant. And if you have resilience, resilience is a great perk to have if you need to run away from the killer, as well as when you're healing yourself with your medkit, you can heal 9% faster, because when you are injured, you will do a bunch of things faster, including healing. And for the last perk, I do think Will Make It is a very strong perk, because as soon as you unhook that survivor, when you get them off the hook, you have 90 seconds to heal them, which is almost always going to happen. You're not just going to leave them alone. It's almost always ideal to heal your teammates after you unhook them. You're going to be able to heal them 100% faster. So 100% on top of your 50%. 150% heal rate is very fast. So we're going to jump into a game. I feel like this setup is pretty straightforward, but we will show little snippets in a game that we jump into of how you can utilize being a medic for your team. Okay. So let's see what killer we get. Now, if you didn't watch my first video, it is almost pointless to walk in the beginning of the game, run over to the first generator you see, and start going at it. If you get the killer, that's okay. Run the killer. And of course, we're gonna get Kaneki. He does give you the yellow bar that I was talking about that you do have to mend. So, we may not be able to mend, but you see there, when you stand still, you get the yellow bar to mend. My first game on, and I'm not warmed up, I won't lie. No idea what my teammates were doing that whole time I was running him. They should have completed, or got close to finishing a generator. Maybe they did and they just got off and I didn't see them. Hopefully. Alright, well, we're gonna actually move away from our teammates because we don't want them to heal us. We're gonna show off what 99ing your heal looks like. So we're using our medkit by right-clicking, and we're gonna get our heal all the way up until it's right at the end there. You see when you stand still, you see how it's 99. And that way, having it 99, if we do get the killer's attention, we could run him for a little bit and then heal up and prolong the chase. It is a little bit more advanced and a little bit risky to do so, so you may not want to do it straight off the bat. If you're not comfortable doing that, you can just fully heal, but it is definitely a viable strategy. Alright, so we fully healed because I kind of figured that was going to happen, where we were going to have to make a choice. Maybe Steve will let me actually heal him. Brother. I cannot heal you. Okay. We're just gonna come pick up our teammate here instead because Steve does not understand that the collision on that is not letting me heal him. But we're still in the 90 seconds, and so you see I can heal everybody extremely fast. Alright, now after we've healed up everybody, we're gonna go back to the generator. Unfortunately, this killer is running crazy generator regression perks. So all that progress we did is gone. Alright, we got our generator done. We're gonna try to go for the unhook since we are the medic. Hopefully he does not run away from us because we could probably pull him off the hook and heal him immediately since Leon's being chased right now way over there. We can tell because of our aura perk. Another reason why I think having this perk is good for beginners. That way you can see what's going on. You may not be able to know where the killer is, but if you see your injured teammate being ran around, you know where he is. Now once again, Steve on a weird incline. If he would sit still, that'd be great. Well, tried to save Steve, but you know, that's one of the many reasons why you should not be super skittish in the game. I probably could have fully healed him. Now we can try to take chase away from Leon, but it's probably not going to happen. He is fully focused on Leon. Not much I can do about that. I guess I'll go for the unhook. If Steve would let me actually heal him this time, I can heal him very fast. Now we're gonna go around the outskirts of the map, because he's probably gonna be looking over where that hook is. Oh my god. Had no idea where he was. Not even gonna lie. Steve. Well, this is rather unfortunate, isn't it? What? What was that lunge? Oh my god. Alright, nothing exciting happened in that game. We died right at the last gen. Sometimes you just have games like that, but there's also another reason why I don't really care for builds that really play into only one specific thing. I think it's better to have two perks that help you stay alive almost at all points in time. And in the beginning of the game, if you can level up Meg so that you can have her sprint burst on Claudette, or vice versa, where you can have Claudette's heal fast and the aura reading perk, those two either on Claudette or on Meg, so you can have all 4 of these perks, is a pretty decent setup in the beginning. If you do sign up on Dead by Daylight's website and make an account, you will be able to get enough iridescent shards to unlock Kate Benson, so you can have windows of opportunity. I'm probably going to talk about this in every single one of these guides, but windows of opportunity is one of the most popular perks ran by survivors, and for good reason. It lets you see the aura of pallets and windows so that it will help you stay alive longer until you really learn layouts of the map. Yes, this is a bit of a training wheels perk, but it is still very, very useful. So if you would rather run windows of opportunity over being able to see your injured survivors, I would do so. This is probably your best beginner setup that you can go for until you start unlocking other perks, which I personally switch out this for Solidarity with Jane, so that when you heal somebody without a medkit, which is almost always, you almost always want to save your medkit for yourself. Maybe some niche timings where you want to use your medkit, but when you heal somebody else without a medkit, you gain 70% of your healing progress to yourself if you're injured. So you always want to heal your teammate first and then have them finish off the heal on you. Or you could also in the future unlock perks that allow you to heal. You can get perks that heal you to a certain degree, like Ada Wong's perk that heals you 40% whenever another survivor close to you takes damage. And then whenever you heal them, if they win their chase, you don't even need to be healed because you're running this alongside Jane's perk. Or if you get unhooked, you can have Resurgence from Jill. That way they don't have to take as long to heal you off the hook. I feel like a lot of people think this perk is a lot better than it is. That's just my opinion. At the 3rd tier, it is 70% healing progress, I do believe. But even then, I think this is kind of a waste of a slot, personally. That's just me, though. But yeah, once again, this video could go on for forever if I talk about all the perk combinations that you can use. Obviously, you can mix and match any perks that you come along and you find to be very, very good and you want to incorporate it into your build. Me personally, I don't really like having to rely on exhaustion perks that much. That being said, using Overcome instead of Sprint Bursts sometimes makes it so the chase on you gets dropped more often, but I guess it's just preference. But yeah, that's going to be the healing guide I have, and next we're going to talk about gen speed builds.